Welcome to the Gunners Report channel, the place to stay informed about Arsenal.
Let's turn our attention to transfer news. Arsenal have been busy today. Dharma Chef joins me on set to tell us all the details. Developments on Jurriën Timber. What can you tell us, Dharmesh?
Yeah, just been confirmed to us in the past few minutes that Arsenal have now got an agreement in principle with Ajax to sign the defender Jurriën Timber. The deal is worth an initial €40 million plus a further €5 million in performance-related add-ons. He's expected to have a medical in the coming days and then finalise those personal terms, which effectively have been agreed as well. He's been a long-term target for Arsenal. You remember last summer, though, Manchester United tried to sign Jurriën Timber, but Arsenal have been keeping an eye on him for a number of months, and he will be signed predominantly as a right-back. So I think Mikel Arteta wants to really strengthen that back line, all along that back line. You've got Ben White, who can play right back and central defence. Now Jurriën Timber, Tomiyasu as well. So he's really building a squad there, is Mikel Arteta, ahead of the return to the Champions League. And you mentioned Jurriën Timber as a potential arrival. Another potential arrival, of course, is Declan Rice. Just a reminder of the news from earlier. Arsenal have agreed a deal now to sign the West Ham United captain. A compromise on the structure over that £105 million deal was finalised last night. It's understood that Arsenal will pay the initial £100 million. That's the guaranteed payment over a 2-year period. So it could be 2 or 3 instalments for that. One source has told Sky Sports News that Rice will have a medical at Arsenal this week. It might even be as soon as Friday, ahead of signing a long-term contract. Just to put into context how big this deal is, though, this is the biggest transfer fee between two British clubs, £105 million, and it falls just shy of the British transfer record that Chelsea broke last summer when they bought Enzo Fernandez for a tad over £106 million from Benfica. But it shows that Arsenal mean business and that they are backing Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, they sure do. I mean, Havertz in the door already, Rice on the way, getting closer, and Timber, as you say, now on the way. You
mentioned those three. Just if they were to complete all three of those deals, we're looking at, within the space of 3 weeks of the transfer window opening, a spend of over £200 million.
Wow. Well, that is them absolutely committing to another title offensive, if you like. And, you know, where they fell short last season, they clearly feel they've got unfinished business there. But, of course, they've got to balance the books, don't they? Who might be heading out? Well, Granit Xhaka, of course, is one name that's been linked with moves away, isn't he?
That will be the focus now, I think, because if you're going to outlay that much money, then there's going to be a huge number of players in the squad, but also players that you need to recoup money from. Now, Granit Xhaka, such a key player for Arsenal in recent seasons, particularly last season. This one kind of came as a surprise, but if you look at his contract situation, he's only got 1 year left. He's 30 years old. He's 31 in September. And if Arsenal were to try and extend his stay, it'd be questionable whether he'd be getting a long-term contract. However, Bayer Leverkusen are willing to do that. And that deal now will look like it will accelerate. Granit Xhaka to Bayer Leverkusen. The deal under discussion is worth around £21.5 million. So once the Rice one is completely finalised, expect the Xhaka one to really motor along as well. Another player that Arsenal are open to offers for is Folarin Balogun. He went on loan, you'll remember, last season to Reims and played really, really well. 21 league goals for Reims last season. He actually signed a new contract for 3 years last summer as well. So he's only got 2 years left on his contract. But because he's experienced that first-team football and probably feels that he's not going to get that at Arsenal, I think he probably feels the time is right to move on. And I think Arsenal will demand around £50 million for Balogun. That's the kind of value that they want. No shortage of interest either. We understand that AC Milan, Inter Milan, Marseille, Monaco and RB Leipzig are all interested in Balogun. Whether they'd be able to afford a valuation of around £50 million is another matter. Potential other departures. We're told that Arsenal still exploring what's been described to me as a viable exit options. Yeah, for Cedric Suarez, Nuno Tavares, Albert Sambi Lokonga and Nicolas Pepe, who, as it stands, is still the record signing at £72 million from 2019, but about to be obliterated by Rice.
OK. Damis, what an update. Thank you very much indeed.
The Declan Rice deal to Arsenal is finally done. West Ham will get £100 million up front, plus up to £5 million in bonuses, Jules.
Yeah.
He's not the most expensive English player in history, as I wrote in this thing. He's the most expensive English player in Premier League history. Because Jude Bellingham might have something to say about that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was coming, of course, especially after Man City kind of withdrew. We can put it that way from the race of signing him.
Were they ever in it?
Exactly. But he wanted to go to Arsenal anyway. Arsenal really wanted him. They think that he can take this team to the next level. And I think he's an amazing talent. I think he's a world-class player. I really do. And I think he will make a big difference for them. So it's a lot of money, of course. It's a record signing for Arsenal in their history too. But I think he's worth it.
Who's moving out?
Thomas Partey.
Partey and Xhaka.
Yeah. And Havertz as an 8, as we said. Odegaard's keeping the same position. And Rice will play in front of the back four. Rice can play. The good thing about Rice, he gives you a lot of options. You can play with a double pivot. You can play just with him. I think if you get him to have a fluid midfield, he can even bring you more going forward with the ball. I think he's that good.
I am so intrigued by this Havertz as an 8 proposition. I am so curious to see how it works out, because the man's been stranded without a position. I still think he can do a job at centre forward. He can grow into the position, and I think you know my thoughts on Gabriel Jesus. However, trust in Arteta. If this is what he wants to do, let's see how it works out.
In addition to Declan Rice, Mikel Arteta is also interested in bringing in another midfielder and seems to have marked Lavia as his next target. Liverpool have been heavily linked with the Belgian international in recent weeks, as Jurgen Klopp continues to overhaul their midfield. According to TalkSport, Liverpool are prepared to make an initial bid for Lavia, and reports suggest that talks with the player and his team are progressing well over a potential move to Anfield. However, Arsenal appear ready to derail Liverpool's efforts by trying to sign Lavia. The Times reports that the Gunners will intensify their pursuit of the young Southampton talent after securing the Rice deal. The 19-year-old is expected to leave Southampton following the club's relegation, but his price will not be low. As per the report, Southampton have set a £50 million valuation for Lavia. Furthermore, Arsenal and Liverpool will face stiff competition, as Manchester United and Chelsea have also shown keen interest in the player, according to the Times. It is crucial for the young player to find the right club for his development. While he was excellent at Southampton, a move to a club like Arsenal or Liverpool represents a huge step forward. He will need regular playing time and will be subject to rigorous review if his performance does not meet expectations. It is important that he has a coach who can really help him improve and thrive in his professional development. In his opinion, should Arsenal enter the dispute for Lavia? Leave your comment below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.